Hey there, so today we have another review, and this is a battle beers between one classic IPA and then one newer age IPA, but still, I guess some people would consider classic. This is between Sierra Nevada Torpedo and Alai. Found this on the cold section, actually, at a gas station, so decently fresh. I believe this one's around 6 weeks, this is around 7 weeks or something like that. Not as fresh as you can find them, but, you know, pretty good. At least they were on the cold shelf. So, have the blind. Let's dig into these two beers. And actually, interestingly enough, both of these are actually brewed in the East Coast. This one's at Mills River, North Carolina. And then this one is, I know they've moved brewing locations. Let's see. Cigar City in Tampa. All right, yeah. They moved around. I think they were brewing at Lakeland at some point. Maybe they were brewing at, I think maybe some people's product are actually brewed at Oscar Blues in North Carolina. So, have them mixed up. The beers are quite similar. This one's a touch lighter. They're deep gold. This one has a little bit more haze to it too. And yeah, let's dig into this one first. So on the nose, you get that biscuity, kind of caramelly, crystal malting. A little bit of like cleaner, sort of like potpourri floral note. A little bit of citrus, but really not like super expressive. Not the perfect glasses for them, and also I didn't build leave enough head space for head, but very similar as well. This one's less fruity. It's a little bit more piney as well. So I was thinking this one. Cheers. Nice. It's grapefruit zest. It's got a nice bitterness to it. It's got a nice kind of like essence of orange driving in there. So there's a complexity of bitter grapefruit, sweet oranges, clementine. Bitterness rides in. It's actually not that caramelly too sweet, and then has like a medium to medium plus bitterness lingering on the back end. Little bit resiny pine thing driving in there. Quite nice. Rounder is what I can say. Not as citrusy. Oh wow. This one has a little hint of this kind of like, not quite medicinal, but almost like a lightly phenolic turning kind of alcohol thing coming in. Yeah, the alcohol actually like expresses itself on the back end, and it's almost like a phenol, something in there that's a little bit like, almost like yeast stress or something that's like pushing a little bit more booziness coming out of this one. And this one is 7.5%, correct? Yeah. And then this one is also, I believe, 7.5%. Torpedo, I should know this information. 7.2%. Oh, wow. They change it? All right, anyway, almost same ABV. Yeah, this one's clearly more boozy. There's less of this hop zing going on. The bitterness is not as pronounced as this one as well. Maybe it's because it's less fresh, but then again, you're in the cold section, and this is somewhere around less than 2 months fresh. This should stand up, and I feel like I'm pretty sure I sense some amount of oxidation in there. Really not zinging in hops, and just a little bit like having like a combination of like light malt character, not that sweet, but then just like some amount of bitterness driving in there. Whereas this one has a little bit more defined hop character. Nothing crazy, but has this orange cleaner kind of thing. It's a combination of floral, soapy. And then the soapy thing is like either a combination of hops or, from what I understand, an issue with high alkalinity. High alkalinity, I guess, with the finished products. I mean, I guess mash high alkalinity would affect... Oh, alkalinity of the water, I'm sorry. Alkalinity of the water would affect the product. And actually some of these beers end up a little flabby. And you can end up a little bit soapy. And then you throw the hops on top of them, which can be floral and soapy in the sense that, like, with the fragrances that we use in soap, accentuates. So when people say that they have had a soapy IPA, it could be a water issue coming from the brewing process. So not stellar examples of style. I'm actually quite surprised that these beers are not like better examples, considering they're not that bad. I mean, this is 6 weeks. This is 5 to 7, you know, like we're not that old, but that's my final guess, and I obviously would prefer the High Alai, but very curious if I get them fresh and get a better example of them. But let's dig into the results. Yep, correct. and that is correct. So generally, I would recommend that highlights a little bit more of that kind of complex orange note. Surprised that this one ends up a little bit more bitter. I would assume that Torpedo is actually a little bit more bitter of a beer. But yeah, this is that classic kind of like Sierra Nevada thing. It's that combination of this bright green foresty. What is that? It's like piney, a little bit citrusy. I know this one actually accentuates, focuses a little bit on Citra. It's Citra Crystal and Magnum hops, but it's got that like really rounded. For sure, there's oxidation dancing in here, but it's got that rounded, like chewy, almost viscous sweetness. But the bitterness comes in right at the right time to snatch it all up. And there's also like, it's hard to explain. It's got a Sierra Nevada thing to it. If you drink enough of Sierra Nevada hoppy beers, especially even like Pale Ale, Torpedo, there's just something of pain of the beers sort of taste similar. So until next time, guys, cheers. Let me know what you think later. What do you prefer out of these two? Cheers.